Okay, top 10 stores that don't exist anymore.
Come see what's possible when we do things together.
Welcome to Watch Mojo,
Fast
and today we're
commercial, bro.
counting down our picks for the top 10 stores that don't exist anymore.
And customers will lose one more place to peruse new books.
Corporate says the closure comes as a result of changes in retail and problems posed by the pandemic.
So sad, man. Especially if it's a company you
For this list, we'll be
enjoy.
looking at U.S. retail chains and stores which have closed their physical locations and gone out of business, either due to a switch to online sales or simply being no longer commercially viable for various reasons. Number 10, Circuit City.
So old.
Founded in 1949 under the name Ward's Company, Circuit City was one of the most popular consumer electronics stores in the United States. During their peak, the chain boasted more than 550 stores across the country, offering plenty of electronic goods.
This, I don't understand with electronic companies, like, turned down or don't exist anymore. Like, electronic, bro. Like, it's always something that you need.
And services. They
hate
even
the
had a
Circuit
chance
City.
to buy
Aw.
out the fledgling Best Buy operation
Probably
in
they were
1988,
terrible.
but declined when
American.
Circuit
I don't
City's
know these
CEO
ones.
thought they could just put them out of business.
Not from America.
Well, that
We
didn't
never
work
had
out in the
Circuit
long
City.
run. When 2007 rolled around, wages were being cut, locations were being closed, and management turnover was high.
Electronic retailer Circuit City has announced it's unplugging
Oh my god, her voice is like Emiru, the streamer on Twitch.
more than 150 stores. In Maryland alone, 3 locations are going out of business.
By 2009, the company pulled the
Was it
plug,
Emerald, her name?
and the days of Circuit City were over.
Now, some customers we talk to, some shoppers, say this is just a very sad day.
Number 9, A&P. The Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company existed from 1859 to 2015. Known to most customers simply as A&P, there was a time when they were a huge player in the grocery business. From a few retail shops selling tea and coffee in New York, the company blossomed after being acquired by George Huntington Hartford. From there, over much time, it became a full-on grocery store, which would eventually have roughly 16,000 locations.
A&P pledges guaranteed value.
Commercials.
We guarantee the quality of all our meat and deli products. Produce too, double your money back.
We also guarantee the lowest advertised prices.
However, by the 1970s, the stores had become conceptually stale and plagued by
Walmart
bad
put them out of
customer service.
business.
The chain did
probably.
manage to have a bit of a comeback in the early aughts, but was short-lived, and it finally went under in 2015.
Many customers have shopped here for years, and they feel emotional.
Everybody angry.
Everybody's angry.
Yeah.
Everybody's angry.
Because they got no store over here, no place.
Number 8, F.W. Woolworth Company.
It's May Value Days at Woolworth, with savings for everyone.
Did you know that Woolworths may have been the original inspiration for the dollar store?
No,
Founded by
dollars.
Frank Winfield Woolworth in 1879, it opened as Woolworth's
5
Great
and 10 cent store. Imagine.
5
Back in the day, like 10 cents were like $1.
5-cent store, which sold everything for a nickel or two. Although that operation didn't last, the subsequent store became successful.
I'm the new chairman of Woolworth, and I believe in 1981 we're going to offer you better value than we've ever done before.
Frank brought in his brother, Charles Sumner Woolworth, and the two began a journey that would see their ideas about retail continue to be used today.
I peed my pants in a Woolworth as a child. Good store, though.
Hey, Woolworths was highly successful until the 1980s, when stiff
Nice.
competition forced them to shift
Good
their
job,
priorities
Alex.
to their sporting goods division.
Competition is the name of the game.
I don't think it's the reason they stopped
Big
working.
names ever assembled. So whether your game is serious or social, we'll find the right shoe for you.
In 2001, they became known as Foot Locker and are still
Okay,
selling
now.
sporting goods today. A few dozen Woolworth stores do still continue to exist in Mexico
God,
under
really?
different ownership. Number 7, Sam Goody.
Goody, Sam, Goody got it. Goody, Sam Goody got it. Sam Goody got it.
Much like
Sam
many
Goody
other
got it.
music retailers, Sam
Goody got
Goody
it, Goody
became
got
the
it.
victim of the
It
digital
actually goes
revolution
well,
in
right?
music.
Goody got it.
Founded in 1951 as a small music shop in New York City, it eventually merged with Musicland, which helped expand the brand. At its peak, the Sam Goody branded stores expanded to 800 locations and brought in several $billion worth of revenue. It had become almost synonymous with music retail, which held it above water for a long time. But after struggling through a handful of acquisitions and changes to its business model, the stores began to close. By 2012, most of the stores were gone or simply rebranded as FYE. Number 6, Borders.
That's sad.
I'm Jason Schwartzman.
I'm Wes Anderson.
We are at the flagship Borders in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ever since Gutenberg revolutionized printing so long ago, books have been in demand. This human desire to learn or enjoy stories is what eventually spawned the likes of giant bookstore chains like Borders. Operating for nearly 40 years, this bookstore saw its peak with over 500 US-based stores, and even more via other brands and franchising. By the time 2007 rolled along, however, the company had begun to struggle to remain in business.
Well, I hope this store can stay, because I frequent this store and I want to support it.
Several attempts were made to keep it going, but by September of 2011, the chain had come to an end, with its stores closing and rival chain Barnes & Noble buying its trademark.
Getting the news today.
Borders deserves to go out of business. They treated their employees terribly. I feel like a lot of these companies treated their employees or their customers really badly.
Your Best Buys are always
There's always a reason.
Guaranteed.
The sale of Fry's Supermarkets chain eventually spawned a completely new type of electronics store back in
Literally SpongeBob. Look!
1985. The intent was to make shopping for electronics a similar experience to going for groceries.
Nice, that
Whether
is
it was circuit
SpongeBob.
boards,
Sir
software,
Bob.
or any other kind
Is
of
his name
electronic
Sir
device, Fry's was the place to get it.
Fry's was famous for its unusual exteriors and motifs like the Mayan-themed store here in San Jose.
It was actually one of the few places you could buy raw computer parts off the shelf to assemble your PC on your own. The stores ballooned in popularity, and even the aforementioned Circuit City didn't offer the same kinds of fare.
It's a shame to see it go away. I mean, I grew up with, going to the store a lot to, buy everything from my TVs to video games, and, fortunately I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to buy all that stuff now.
But after decades of sometimes controversial business practices and squeezed by the COVID pandemic in 2020 and long-standing market pressures, all their stores ceased operations in February 2021.
All 31 Fry stores across 9 states closed effective immediately.
Toys R Us is gonna be one for sure.
Customer? Not any longer, it would seem.
Number 4, linens and things. If there is one common thread connecting many of these now defunct businesses, it's that for many of them, a combination of acquisitions and management changes seems to be their undoing. Formed in 1975, this home textile and housewares big box retailer grew considerably
really?
by the time it opened its 55th store in 1983.
Linens and Things, keeping America's homes beautiful through quality, selection, and 20 to 40% off
I
regular
always
prices
wanted to
every
buy
day.
stuff there, but it was so expensive and my parents would never take me.
It was acquired and then eventually spun off
It's
as
really
its
a dream
own
of mine
entity
to go to
again in
Toys R Us and buy
1996,
something.
but then reacquired by Apollo
My
Global
small
Management
self
in
back in the day when I was
2006.
not able to
The company
afford
then
it.
truly began to find itself in financial difficulty.
But the nail in the coffin came with the credit crisis. Possible buyers couldn't get credit to purchase a company, and now 371 stores are set to close by the end of the year.
A series of losses combined with a decline of sales eventually forced the
It
company
makes
to
sense.
pull the plug on their stores by 2008, going online
Yeah,
exclusively.
online. Nah, that's better.
Number 3, Radio
I love
Shack.
that yellow hair. So cringe. Oh my god. Alright, thank you
The
for following.
humble
Welcome.
beginnings of Radio Shack began
best
back
in
in
America.
1921. The company focused its sales strategy on radio and electronics hobbyists. For decades, this gave them a lucrative
these
market
commercials,
to fill.
man.
and
I
interest
love
in
them too. I wanna
electronics
make a
eventually
reaction
grew
to
even
that.
further with the new computer and video game age. It was also Radio Shack that produced the famous
Radio
TRS-80, one of the first widely available home computers.
Let your children discover tomorrow's technology today. The TRS-80, the biggest name in little computers. Only at Radio Shack.
But much like many other retailers, their popularity declined with the rise of online shopping and fewer hobbyists to buy their wares.
Though perhaps more damaging has been the retailer's failure to attract younger shoppers.
By 2017, the company had gone bankrupt and was no longer the giant retailer it once was, with a smattering of stores remaining under different ownership.
Does America
and
have Media
the brand
Market?
being scooped up to attempt viability
Saturn?
online.
What?
The 80s called. They want their store back.
Number 2, Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
Who doesn't remember wanting to be a Toys R Us kid? From toys to video games to books to bikes, this was a chain that had almost everything a child
There
could
were
possibly
commercials
want.
and
From bikes to trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store there is. Gee whiz!
But like many retailers over the last few decades, they struggled to keep up with the times and competition with the likes of mass market stores and online shopping.
It was unprepared for what no one saw coming. The dot-com era and the rise of the big box store.
In 2017, the chain
Destroyed so
filed for
many
bankruptcy and began liquidating their assets. By the middle of 2018, they had closed most of their U.S. stores, with the last 2 closing in 2021.
I feel like kids are gonna miss out on the best store ever. I still love the store.
However, you can still find Toys R Us stores across Canada and Asia.
Oh, in Canada and in Asia. That's why.
Unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Esprit, yet another clothing store bites the
Wait, is it called Esprit? I always call it Esprit. I literally had a t-shirt.
dust.
So as the doors begin
were
to
times
close,
where I streamed
one is
with
left
their
to wonder about
shirts.
the future of Esprit clothing and whether the iconic brand will survive a declining market.
The Limited, closed physical stores and moved online only.
Right away, you can tell the deals must
The
be
limited was limited. Oh my god.
good because the store is already nearly empty.
Online
Everything
limited.
in the store is 80% off. That even includes the hardware and the mannequins.
Ames. Many department stores haven't done well in this millennium.
Many shoppers at this Ames in Robinson Town Center still can't
The
believe
all
it's
American.
closing.
I thought they were doing good. Usually I come in, you gotta wait a while.
The Sharper Image. Now you have to buy your air purifiers and nose trimmers online.
We
Nose
call
trimmers.
it Ionic Breeze, and it's an air filter, but it's so different than the other air filters you may have seen.
What more mojo? Give me the last one before you give me thousands of commercials. Is that it?
Served during the fake account scam.
If you want exclusive interviews with industry leaders, in-depth media and
Industries to emerge from the creation of the
Blockbuster?
VCR was the home movie. To emerge
knew
from
it.
the
You
creation
knew
of
it.
the
You knew
VCR
it.
was the home movie rental business.
Fast checkout.
Yeah, since like you know the funny part, we still have a DVD rental place. It's called Cobra. I was going to it when I was a teenager, since I was like 13 years old. They are still working. There are still old people who buy DVDs and watch movies like that.
24-hour quick drop return, open late every
Crazy.
night. Well, the perfect video store
Welcome to Blockbuster Video.
is popping up all
I never
over
had a
the country.
Blockbuster. It's American.
There's one
All of
near
this.
you.
At the inception of the movie business decades earlier, no one had ever expected people to want to watch their movies at home instead of at theaters. With more than 30,000 stores open globally at its commercial peak, if you wanted to rent a new release, odds are you went to Blockbuster Video.
Oh, plus they have all kinds of video games for the kids.
Video rentals became ingrained in our culture, and Blockbuster
Man, I love
profited
this
mightily.
time.
But as
It
streaming
was
services
so special. Like now you stream like movies, it's not the same. Back in the day, you make a whole event. You go to a Blockbuster shop or whatever DVD shop rental place, and then you choose the movies you get, and then you get some snacks, you come back, you watch them, and you make sure to forget to bring them back the next couple of days, and you pay like $3 more, and then you're like effed.
and mail-in DVD options became available over the years, the days of Be Kind, Rewind were over, and
Love those
Blockbuster
times, bro.
famously ceased to be.
Its
Really
various
enjoyed them.
partnerships folded, and stores worldwide were rapidly plunged into administration.
We're closing early.
Its 9,000-strong chain
We're so
had been
spoiled now, but the more choices we have, the worse it
reduced
is.
to one single franchise
not that
in Bend, Oregon.
good anymore, you know?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other.
I don't know, bro. I agree, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm not American, but that was fun. Different than what I usually react to. Thanks so much for sharing, though.